Today I'm going to talk about the very important um, power tools in the Excel VBA is that we can borrow some of the function from the basic Excel spreadsheet. Now, for example, in writing VBA, sometimes we may need to find out some functions that's not available. For example, week number, capitalize. So how can we do it? Because we can actually very easily borrow from what here. For example, I want to know the week number of this. Okay. Suppose I want to find the week number, we can say equal to week number, or either week number, depends on which system you are talking about. And then you can say today. Then as of today of this day of 15th of May, it is the 20th week. It is so simple, but in VBA it's very difficult to find this function. So what can we do? Very simple. We just copy this and go to VBA, and we just use the bracket. Okay, week number here, and then we copy the whole formula. And let's try it whether it works. Debug. Print week number. Immediately you can see it's 20 here. So that's very simple. This is a very simple example. Then the next one is capitalize. Suppose we have a word, for example, my name, ABC, for example, just any name, for example, David. We want to capitalize it. It's not that easy, in the VBA, built-in VBA function, but it's also very easy to do it in Excel Worksheet. David here, and we can say proper David. Then immediately capitalize. So we copy the whole thing here. Back to VBA and paste it, wrap it with a bracket, a square bracket, and here I replace it with David, and then debug it. See whether it works. Okay. No, it doesn't work. Why? Because here you need to be a variables, and that it doesn't work because this the square bracket only work when there's nothing, no variables here, just a complete function. This can do it simply by that one. If this one, we can use the other way called evaluate. Okay, we can use evaluate, or no, before it come to evaluate, come to the more complicated formula. We call it the worksheet function proper. Okay, and run it. Yes, David now. Okay. David Copperfield. Then can have a proper name for David Copperfield. Okay. So, in other words, if you have very simple function that you borrow from worksheet, you can just use the square bracket. But for more complicated one, you can use application worksheet function proper. Of course, it depends on the name of that function. Okay. And now for some more, but there's another way to do it. There's a way called evaluate. So I copy this and comment it out. I don't use application worksheet function, I use evaluate. Evaluate is similar to the square bracket that you just write the framework here first, and then you paste in the formula that you can copy from here. Just copy that formula back to VBA and then paste it equal to, of course you cannot play A3 here. You have to place my string, of course. But if you run it, for sure you get a problem. Okay, it's not mesh. This means you have to become like this. Okay. Then you get a variable my string. Substitute here, you run it. But still you got a problem. Why? Because in a function we need to have the quotation mark also. Back here you can see it actually we need a quotation mark here. So the trick is that whenever you see this kind of a symbol, a quotation mark, you replace it immediately with this. Okay, and here I made another one, and I immediately replace this. Okay, and now let's try. Also doesn't work. Evaluate proper. Oh, sorry. Don't put here. Okay, let's try. Now it's work. Okay. Now it's work. Okay, all in all, that's a. So it's not easy. You have to try it sometimes by trial and error. But all in all, that whenever you meet this kind of symbol, then you replace it with this longer words like this, then it works. Okay. Now this means that this become a variable, then you can do any other words like it. For example, you can just put here, call it input box. A string. Okay, and here we call message box, and you can run it. A string may be called Tom Sawyer. Then you get a proper name for it. Okay, that's one way. And about evaluate, it's a very, very important in doing the VLOOKUP, because for example, in the table, I got a GDP of different countries. If I want to suppose that I get Japan, then I would say VLOOKUP. Now, first of all, I give the names to this range already. GDP in that range. Okay, and I VLOOKUP, and VLOOKUP value, I would say Japan, table array with GDP with that whole range, and the column. Then I will count it, the second column. Okay, so I got the GDP. Of course, you can do a country here, and then I don't put Japan, but put C1. Okay. Then I put Japan. I got this one, and I put China. I got why? I don't know. Germany, United States. Okay. Okay, this means that we can do it, and it's a very powerful function in Excel. And of course, VBA, if we can borrow this function in VBA, that would be very good. So we copy this whole formula first. Okay, back to EPA. And I have a function to call the find GDP. Now, initially, I comment it first, and GDP equal to, remember the way to do it, type in evaluate, and then copy the formula. Okay. Then you substitute the things here. Now, yeah, a bit difficult. Maybe I put it C1 to the actual value first. Okay, Japan. Okay. Maybe I do it again, because it's very skillful to do it, not easy.